Sometimes life is like riding a horse, going on adventures without remorse. This is especially true for Paul. With his steed Friday, he's got it all. Some say man's best friend is a dog, but this boy's best friend's a horse, no hog. Going for adventures from day to night is what the duo does absolutely right. They meet some friends, then make some more, and learn to ride like never before. They know how to help in every way. This is Adventures of Paul and Friday.
So, what do you want to do today?
I don't know. What do you want to do today?
That's a tough one.
Well, there's a lot to do in Gasualdo. We could go for a swim, we could go to the park again, we could play tennis.
Wait, you can play tennis?
As I said before, don't underestimate the power of horse hooves.
All of those sound fun, but in case you didn't notice, it's raining.
I suppose that does limit our options a bit. I don't really feel like walking in the rain today.
Well then, what can we do here?
Maybe we could watch TV or play a board game.
I guess we could.
Or, how about we tell each other stories? When I was little on a rainy day, my father would always tell me these interesting stories that I enjoyed.
But I don't really have any exciting stories to share.
Nonsense. Everyone's got to have at least one interesting story. You said that you like to travel, so surely you must have had some adventures you've experienced in the past that are worth sharing.
Actually, not really. I'd rather not talk about my past.
Really? I'd love to hear what you were like before I met you.
Are you sure? Because it's a sad story.
I'm sure talking to me about it would make you feel better. After all, I'm your horse, someone who trusts and understands you, and things are different now.
Well, okay, let me start by saying, my parents never really wanted me when I was born.
I'm so excited for our new baby girl.
Yeah, I can't wait for all the fun we'll have with her.
Congratulations, you now have a healthy baby boy.
Wait, boy?
That's right, and he's all yours.
What? You're telling me that the girl we were waiting for is a boy? I demand a refund.
Refund? I'm afraid we can't do that, sir. He's your baby.
You promised me it would be a girl.
It's not my fault. It's your stupid chromosomes' fault.
I have no idea what chromosomes are, but I do know that it's not true.
See? I know it's your fault because you never studied genealogy in high school.
Oh, yes, I did. I just never passed the class.
Do I have to watch this every day?
My parents never showed any respect for me. At first, they didn't even give me decent clothes. When it came time to go to school, I was instantly ridiculed. Things didn't go well. I begged my parents to get me proper clothes so no one would laugh at me anymore. Although my parents finally did give me new clothes, they still treated me badly. Whenever there was a problem, I always got the blame for it, even when I had nothing to do with it.
This is your fault, Paul.
Sometimes they seemed to act as if I didn't exist. They also wouldn't let me join any sports programs or let me go on any exciting vacations with them, where I instead had to have a babysitter. At school, things weren't much better. Even though nobody laughed at my appearance anymore, I just couldn't keep up with the rest of the class. I kept getting bad grades, and detention seemed to be something I had every month. Throughout the school years, I only had one friend. His name was Carl. We used to talk a lot at lunch and play baseball at the playground, even though I wasn't very good at it. He was one of the only things in my life that I felt like was worthwhile. But later, news came that Carl got expelled. He turned out to be a bully himself, and he was cheating on most of his exams. I was absolutely horrified to find this out, to realize that not only was my one and only friend no longer in school, but he was also a really terrible person. I always thought that having a pet would make me feel better. If no humans would be my friend, why not an animal? But out of all the pets I could think of, what I really wanted was a horse. I was always quite fond of horses. I think they're beautiful creatures and usually quite friendly as well. If I could have my own horse, I could learn to ride him. Then I could go on all kinds of adventures with the horse and we'd become best friends. But my parents wouldn't let me get one because they thought that horses were only for girls. I tried to explain them that it wasn't true, but they wouldn't listen. When I asked for a horse for my birthday one year, I instead got a rabbit. Yes, a boring old white rabbit. They're cute and all, but what much can you do with a rabbit? You can't ride it for one thing. I'll admit I did kind of like him, but our relationship was cut short one day. A hawk swooped and took my pet away from me. I tried asking my parents for a new one, but they said it was all my own fault and I wasn't responsible enough. Despite doing poorly in grade school, I somehow managed to graduate, but instead of my parents looking for a decent junior high, they instead wanted me to get into this terrible boarding school in Pittsburgh called Brick Academy. Although I knew this was my last summer in Goodtown, what I didn't know was I wouldn't end up at Brick Academy. Instead, I ended up here with you.
I didn't realize you had such a hard time back in Goodtown. I feel so sorry for you.
Yeah, but it's not like I'm having a hard time now, though.
Wow, what a great story. So, you've always liked horses?
Of course, being here with you is a dream come true. Now I don't have to go to boarding school, and I have my very own horse who can even talk to me.
Why, thank you. You're so sweet.
Life here sure is nice.
Isn't it? I've always loved it here. But that reminds me, things weren't always easy for me. Now that you've told me the story of your life, how about I tell you mine?
I'd be glad to hear.
But I warn you, things get sad along the way.
It's a boy!
Oh, isn't he an adorable little baby?
My parents always made sure to take care of me when I was a colt. They taught me how to walk, how to gallop, how to jump, and all the other things that us horses do. They wanted to make sure that I grew up to be a strong, powerful, and fast horse just like my dad. The first part of my life was fun. I got to spend a lot of time with my parents, made some friends, and went on some adventures until one fateful vacation. My parents had decided we should travel to Texas, which is located in the Americas. I had been reading about this area and it sounded like a horse's paradise. We got there the same way you and I did, by boat. Texas was just as beautiful as we had pictured it. And we fit in just fine with all the horses around there, so no humans were surprised to see us. Everything was going great. And then, while we were standing on top of a canyon, something terrible happened. My mom and dad slipped and fell off the edge. Horrified at this sight, I couldn't believe my eyes. I rushed to get some help.
What are y'all doing here?
It's an emergency. My parents fell off the side of the canyon and they might be dead, but...
Wait a minute. Say that again.
Oh no, I shouldn't have said something. I'm not supposed to talk. What I meant to say was...
Oh my gosh, you can talk and neigh? Hey everyone, check this out. It's a talking baby horse.
Hi?
Now I can see why my parents warned me never to talk in a human language outside of Dolphin Island. Some people I'm sure would love to have all the publicity, but I tend to get really overwhelmed when there's such a large group of people around me, especially if they're a different species than me. And before you know it, I was a big attraction at a local fair.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, put your hands together for the amazing Friday the Funny Four. Now tell me, Friday, what do you call a place where birds hang out?
A crowbar.
What has 4 wheels and flies?
A garbage truck.
What's the most important number in golf?
4.
I just didn't know what to think when I saw all those unfamiliar faces laughing at me. It was like I was being ridiculed for my speaking abilities. I also worried about my parents. Were they still alive? If so, did they too have the same fate as me, being locked up in front of a crowd for entertainment? Of course, it was also no fun being stuck in a cage for a long time. And then he came along. Hey partner, how much for the talking horse?
He's not for sale.
Oh yeah? Well, what do you say if I gave you $200?
Okay, then he's yours.
My new owner didn't treat me well, as you know. At first, he didn't even provide me a proper stable. He just left me in the cage inside the house. Despite my efforts, I couldn't get out. After begging to have a much more comfortable place to live, he finally built me a stable, but he still didn't feed me much and only let me out of my stable once a day. When I finally got old enough to ride, Clyde took me out for rides, but he still treated me like a prisoner. You're going the wrong way. Eventually, we moved to Goodtown, Washington. Of course, nothing really changed there, but then one day, however, I noticed that my owner accidentally left my stable door slightly ajar. This was my chance for freedom!
Hey, come back here.
And the rest was history.
Wow, what a fascinating story. And I thought my life before was rough.
Not as rough as mine. How would you feel if you were trapped in a cage and had a mean owner?
Wait, did you hear that?
What?
It stopped raining.
Let's play tennis.
Yeah,